Have you ever wondered what tiny creatures do all day? The world is full of amazing animals, big and small. Sometimes the most incredible things are happening right under our noses, in our own back gardens or local parks. A great way to understand nature is to look closely. We can do this with simple science experiments. These experiments are like little adventures that help us ask questions and find answers. By watching animals carefully, we learn about their lives, what they eat, and how they survive in their environment. It's a brilliant way to become a young scientist and explorer, discovering the secrets of the wild world. This kind of exploration is not just for fun, it's how we learn to respect nature. Every creature, no matter how small, has a special role to play. Think about the insects buzzing around flowers or the worms wiggling in the soil. They are all busy doing important jobs. Our experiment today is a survival experiment. That sounds very dramatic, doesn't it? It just means we are going to create a safe, temporary home for a creature to see what it needs to live. It's a fantastic way to observe an animal up close and understand its needs, without ever causing it any harm. For our big survival experiment, we have chosen a truly amazing animal, the snail. Snails are perfect for this mission. They are slow, which makes them easy to watch. You don't have to run to keep up with them. They are also very common, so you can often find them in damp, shady places after it rains. Snails are tougher than they look, with their hard shells to protect them. By bringing a couple of snails into a temporary home, we can learn so much about how they breathe, move, and what they need to stay healthy and happy before we return them to their natural habitat. Before we start any experiment with a living creature, we must remember the most important rule. Be gentle and be kind. We are only borrowing these little snails for a short time to learn from them. Our job is to make sure they are safe and comfortable while they are with us. We will provide them with everything they need, just like they would have in the wild. Once our observation is finished, we will carefully return them exactly where we found them. This way, we act as responsible explorers, learning about nature while also protecting it. Let's get ready for our snail adventure. Our first task was to set up the perfect temporary home for our new snail friends. We found a large clear glass jar so we could see everything that happened inside. A big jar is important because it gives the snails plenty of space to move around. We didn't want them to feel cramped. We gently placed a layer of small, smooth pebbles at the bottom of the jar. This gives the bottom some texture, a bit like the ground outside. On top of the pebbles, we added some fresh, clean water from a tap filling the jar about halfway. This created a miniature pond for our experiment. Next, we needed to think about what snails need to survive. Just like us, they need food and air. Snails love to munch on green leaves. So we went outside and found some fresh, tasty-looking leaves from a plant we know is safe for them, like lettuce or dandelion greens. We dropped a few leaves into the water. Some floated on top, creating little green islands for the snails to rest on. We also made sure to leave a big air gap at the top of the jar. Snails, even water snails, need to breathe oxygen, so this airspace is incredibly important for their survival. With their new home ready, it was time to find our explorers. We went on a snail hunt in the garden after a bit of rain. We looked under damp leaves and along the edge of a stone wall. It didn't take long to find two small, healthy-looking garden snails. We carefully picked them up by their shells, making sure not to squeeze them. We gently placed them inside the jar. One snail landed on a floating leaf, while the other slowly sank down to the pebbles at the bottom. Our snail survival experiment had officially begun, and now it was time to watch and wait. The final crucial step was to cover the top of the jar. We didn't want our snails to go on an unplanned adventure outside the jar, but we couldn't seal it completely because they need fresh air. So we took a piece of thin cloth and stretched it over the opening. We secured it with a rubber band. The cloth has tiny holes that let plenty of air in and out, but it keeps our snails safely inside their new environment. Now, their world was complete: water to explore, food to eat, and air to breathe. As soon as the snails were in their new home, we started to observe them. At first, they stayed inside their shells for a little while. This is a natural defense. They were just getting used to their new surroundings. But soon, their curiosity took over. Their tiny eye stalks slowly peeked out, looking around. Then, their soft bodies emerged, and they began to explore. The snail on the leaf started moving towards the edge, its muscular foot gliding smoothly over the surface. We could see the ripples it made in the water as it moved. It was like watching a tiny ship navigating a calm sea. The other snail, the one at the bottom, had its own adventure. It began to crawl over the pebbles. We could see its mouth parts working as it nibbled on a bit of algae on one of the stones. It was fascinating to watch it move up the side of the glass jar. It left a faint, slimy trail behind it. This slime is super important. It helps the snail stick to surfaces and move around without hurting its soft body on rough spots. We watched as it climbed all the way out of the water and onto the dry part of the glass, showing us how it could live both in and out of the water. Over the next day, we noticed some interesting changes. The snails had eaten small holes in the lettuce leaves, showing us they had found their food source. We also saw tiny bubbles appearing near the snails when they were underwater. Some snails can absorb oxygen directly from the water through their skin, while others have a special tube they can poke up to the surface to breathe air, like a little snorkel. Our snails seemed to be doing both, moving between the water and the air gap at the top, which was brilliant to see. They were adapting perfectly to their miniature world. We also learned a fun fact. Snails have thousands of tiny teeth. They are located on a tongue-like part called a radula, which works like a file to scrape up food. It's hard to believe that such a small, soft creature has so many teeth. We made sure their leaves were always fresh and the water was clean. We watched them glide, eat and rest. Sometimes they would retreat into their shells for a nap. This small jar had become a window into their secret lives, and every little movement told us something new about how these amazing creatures survive. After a couple of days of careful observation, our experiment came to an end. What did we learn? We discovered that snails are incredibly adaptable creatures. They can live in water and on land as long as they have moisture, food and air. We saw firsthand how their slime trail helps them move over any surface, and how their shell provides a safe, portable home. This experiment showed us that even the slowest animals are perfectly designed for their environment. Every part of the snail, from its shell to its thousands of teeth, has a special purpose that helps it survive. Snails also have a very important job in their ecosystem. They are nature's little cleanup crew. By eating decaying leaves and algae, they help recycle nutrients back into the soil. This makes the environment healthier for plants to grow. They are also a food source for other animals, like birds and beetles, making them a vital link in the food chain. Our small experiment reminded us that every animal, no matter its size, plays a part in the great web of life. Losing even the smallest creatures can have a big impact on the world around us. The most important part of our experiment was the final step, returning our snails to the wild. We took the jar back to the exact spot in the garden where we found them. We gently tipped the jar and let them crawl out onto a damp leaf. They didn't seem to hesitate at all, and soon they were gliding away to continue their lives. It felt good to know that we had learned so much from them without causing them any harm. This is the heart of being a true naturalist, to explore and learn with respect and kindness for all living things. So the next time you are outside, I challenge you to look a little closer. Crouch down and watch the ants marching in a line, or turn over a damp log to see what wiggles underneath. But remember to put it back gently. There is a world of incredible mini beasts waiting to be discovered. You don't need a big laboratory to be a scientist. All you need is curiosity, a pair of keen eyes, and a respect for nature. Go on, your own wild adventure is waiting for you just outside your door. Get out there and explore.